channel 1 and not channel 2? Tyler. You sure it was not channel 1, not channel 1 and not 2? Because my channel 1 didn't budge at all with sound. When I messed with channel 2, it did.
Be seated. My name is Greg Poole. I'm the proud superintendent of the best school district in the state of Texas, and before you are 346 of the finest graduates in the state of Texas, the class of 2017. Our high school was recently named as one of the top 10% of the USA News and World Report, and our only question is, how did anybody beat us? I'm going to introduce some very special people. We have a school board that we were adding up tonight, and we've not commented on this before, but there's over 85 years of Barbers Hill School Board experience with these people, and if you didn't realize it, they don't get paid to do the job that they do. And they all have the commonality that they've had kids either in Barbers Hill or previously in Barbers Hill schools, and they love Barbers Hill, and you're going to hear that constant theme. So if you would please stand, Benny May, our 22-year president, and we've got George Barrera, Becky Tice, Cynthia Irwin, Ron Mayfield, Fred Skinner, and Jeff Farrell, who recently tried to climb Mount Everest. I know he wants me to comment on that. Let's give our board a hand, please. Thank you. Also, Rick Kanya, if he'll stand up. What do you think? Can we give him a hand, graduates? No, stand up, stand up. You deserve, and all joking aside, tremendous high school principal. Been doing this for 5 years as high school principal. Been in our district for how long? 14. And El Campo Riceburg, which we won't go any further on that mascot, but we could not be prouder of Rick Kanya and our staff, and I know he's going to comment on our staff in just a few moments. And I'll tell you this about Rick. You're children, and you're just like his children to him, and it is so evident in all that I do with him. And thank you, Rick Kanya, for another fine year at Barbers Hill High School. I've got a few comments to make. You're not here to hear me, but I do want to make a few comments. And I want to start with this. If you have been, and I do this every year, and for those that have never been to one of our graduation ceremonies, there are so many things that make our district special and unique. And yes, I'm bragging, but I don't think it's bragging if you can back it up. And we can back it up. And one of those things that is so unique, would you stand if you've been in Barbers Hill, graduate, all of your school career, please? Now, is that not a remarkable display? Thank you, students. And what that means is that that's not by accident, and that parents have sacrificed, guardians have sacrificed, even bypassed career moves that would benefit them so that their children could go to Barbers Hill. Now, this is all about you, graduates, but I hope that you do give your parents and those that have been responsible for you being here thanks for the many, many sacrifices that they've made. Now, I mentioned there's 346 graduates. In the class of 1940, there were 40, and that was the largest we'd had. And one of those graduates was a man by the name of Kurt Ball, and I recently attended the visitation for his funeral. He was an ExxonMobil employee, but he started before it was even called Exxon. He was a World War II veteran, and he got wounded at Okinawa. He was an absolute Renaissance man, but at his funeral, on the table, prominently displayed among the memorabilia that identified his life, was a newspaper clipping of the fact that he was salutatorian of the class of 1940. Barbers Hill made an impact on Kurt Ball, and it makes an impact on everyone that comes in contact with it. I was just talking to our class president right before I came up, and she said, because I asked her if she'd been here her entire career, and she said yes, and she paused, and she said, I love this school. This is a special place because of the fact that we have students that do love our school, and we could not be prouder of them. And I'm going to conclude, so we hope that we've made a mark on you, and we hope that we've touched your heart, and we hope that it's something that you take with you the rest of your life. You've made a mark on us. I mentioned earlier the USA News and World Report. There was also a few other things that occurred this year. The state of Texas gave the first ever grades to school district, and we got the highest in the state with 2 A's and 2 B's. We also had 6 students who were National Merit Scholar finalists, which is the highest, most prestigious thing that you can receive. And we're in the top 20, 15, I believe. Now, it's still going. We've got a softball team that's going to beat Willis tomorrow night, right? Yeah. And we lost the first game, but Rick said it was just so we could play 3 games. So we know we're going to win that. And the Lone Star Cup is an award that is given based on all of your recognitions, academic and athletic. And we did, by the way, and so we're in the top 15. We're still competing in that. And for the 21st year in a row, we won academic UIL district champions. Let's give a hand to that, please. So you're here to hear some of our students. And we don't have somebody, the Baytown Sun had asked, who is your special speaker or who's your keynote speaker? And our keynote speaker is who it always is, our graduates. And this is about you, and it's going to be presented by your fellow students. So with that, we're going to start with, I know, what will be an amazing rendition of our national anthem. So Mrs. Thompson, the floor is yours.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shelby Copeland, and I am the senior class president of the class of 2017. First, I would like to thank our outstanding administration, all of our incredible teachers, and the many supporters who are sitting with us tonight as we take our next major step in life. May 26, 2017 has been a date that so many of us have awaited. Well, seniors, here we are. Welcome to one of the most bittersweet moments of our entire lives. 4 years have now come and gone. For some, it has been an eternity. For others, only an instant. Tonight, we turn the lock on all the memories we have shared together throughout our many experiences in grade school. It was as if yesterday was kindergarten. We were starting kindergarten, being assigned our pods, meeting our teachers, and learning important colors like Barbers Hill blue. We had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. As the years went on, We got older and began making friendships, playing tetherball on the playground. Or in Rita Conchola's case, getting hit by the tetherball enough times for her to make some friends. We would wait the whole year just to be able to go to the wave pool with our entire class. We would earn enough AR points to get our bookmarks signed by the big football players and sparkling cheerleaders. No matter how hard any of us tried, it seemed we never could earn more points than Adrian Bucios. Then middle school came our way and we began to explore our interest in extracurricular activities. Who could forget our amazing Hall of Fame video in the 8th grade? It was a rough yet exciting transition, losing old friends but getting to make new ones. And the taste of high school lingered on the tips of our tongues. We looked up to the high school kids and could not wait to be right here. We started as an outgoing class who yelled at pep rallies as freshmen. We prioritized Mow Your Bucks more than real money, even though real money is what we gave Mason McManus when we needed Mow Your Bucks. We embraced how much excitement Coach Taylor had on Friday mornings and carried that into our individual lives. Being underclassmen was fun and carefree. Nothing but more time still awaited us within the next 2 years. Then junior year came, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that was a roller coaster for everyone. Now we were upperclassmen. Our future was creeping up on us. AP tests and varsity sports, new friendships, and new opportunities. Then, all of a sudden, we were having our very last pep rally, performing in the very last production, cheering and playing at the very last football game. Senior year was here, and we began all of our lasts. We knew we had to enjoy this last year with one another before it was all over. But what a year it was. We are a spirited class, with the very first Barbers Hill soccer programs, and a softball team that is still in playoffs even after we graduate. We have state-ranked basketball girls, full-ride volleyball stars, and determined football players. We're home to captivating theater performers, award-winning band members, 6 National Merit Commended Scholars, and no one can forget our state-ranked tractor mechanics man, Nick Terry. And so with that, I would like to thank all of you, seniors, for helping to make this an incredible journey we will all be able to cherish forever. As we walk across this stage tonight, into freedom and into the future, it is now time for us to be handed the book of life and open it to a brand new chapter. One with no given prompt, but instead, open opportunity to choose what we want to write and make our lives as bright and successful as we wish. Thank you so much for all the memories, the unstoppable laughs, and giving me the opportunity to serve as your class president. Congratulations, class of 2017. Go Eagles! It is now my pleasure to introduce to you this year's salutatorian, Rebecca Hall.
It is an honor to address the class of 2017 as we begin the next chapter of life. This is the first step. There are an infinite number of directions to go. Where will you take yourself on this great adventure? After living in this close-knit community for over a decade, I've seen an undeniable ability for people to come together and care for others. The cost of living in such a community is that it is small and not necessarily representative of what the rest of the world is like. I implore you, challenge you to go beyond the bubble, to experience more than just this. Diversify. Take your skills of collaboration and compassion and apply them to the rest of the world. Believe it or not, there is an end to Texas. Never limit yourself to one place in your life, whether it be physically, emotionally, aspirationally. Always seek to learn and grow. Stagnation is the enemy to self-fulfillment. The world is much larger than we think. There are so many stories, so many places to explore. When you look back on your life in 30 years, don't wonder about what you haven't done, but wonder at what you have. No one wants to feel like their time was wasted away. If you're not happy in your situation now, don't wait for the universe to change it. Take your future in your own hands. In the words of Albus Dumbledore, while we may come from different places and speak in different tongues, our hearts beat as one. In the end, every person desires the same thing, happiness for themselves and those they love. And you might say it's a stretch, but I think that most people even want happiness for everyone. What differs is our expression of happiness and how we obtain it. For some, it's a fulfilling career. For others, a harmonious family. Or maybe just leaving the world better than we found it. The Dalai Lama says that if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. Responsibility lies upon you. You are the future. You are the movers and shakers. Do not let yourself sit idly by. Do not go gentle into that good night. Choose to live. If that means getting up and leaving everything you know behind to pursue something more, then do it. If you're upset, if you're frustrated with the present, then open your eyes. You are alive right now. And I don't know about you, but that is one of the most amazing feats of this universe that I can even think of. You get to take it all in, this wondrous place we call the world. You get to experience it, react to it, remember it, cherish it. All too often, we find ourselves focused on petty problems. We forget that our time is limited and that not everyone gets the chance to live. In your moments of frustration, when you ask yourself, why me? Ask it with awe and amazement, because the chances of you being, well, you are so infinitesimally small that any statistician would laugh at the probability of their own existence, yet here we all are, 7 billion strong and counting, defying the odds. The perfect combination of circumstances that led to you even being able to have a day, regardless of how terrible it was, is baffling. The Earth had to fall into the perfect orbit around the sun to allow a cool enough surface for oceans to form. A magnetic field had to be generated for life to even survive and not be blasted away by the sun's radiation. Prehistoric life forms had to painstakingly produce oxygen to create a breathable atmosphere. And your many ancestors had to survive mass extinctions to share their genetic code in the correct order to create a string of deoxyribonucleic acid that is just so you, and not too flawed to prevent you from living. Your poor mother had to carry you to term, deliver you screaming into this place, and raise you. You had to survive the struggles of infancy, the embarrassments of childhood, and the horrors of puberty. Every single day has so much potential and so much meaning, and yet still we find ourselves stressed, angry, and despising our very existence. It's ludicrous. In such a polarized world, it can be difficult to change our view to one that extends beyond ourselves. One of the most notable changes of human perspective came when the Voyager probe, leaving our solar system into the deep unknown, made one final turn homeward to take a photograph of Earth. In this photo, all that can be seen of all of us is a pale blue dot. Carl Sagan, an astronomer involved in the mission, made this observation. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust, suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by all those generals and emperors so that in glory and triumph they could become the momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Think of the endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner. How frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatred. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in this universe are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit? Yes. Settle? Not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There's perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known. What are we to make of this pale blue dot, of our brief existence? Some may view this as nihilistic, but I see it as our golden opportunity. In the end, we must choose kindness above all. Kindness is our most powerful form of influence. We are most inspired and changed by those who have treated us with it. Remember to be noble, to be charitable, and to make your time worthwhile. This is a humbling idea, but as we recognize our brief existence on this pale blue dot we all share, we must also remember our importance, as pointed out by astrophysicist Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He remarks that the most astounding fact is the knowledge that the atoms that comprise life on Earth, the atoms that make up the human body, are traceable to the crucibles that cooked light elements into heavy elements in their core under extreme temperatures and pressures. These stars, the high-mass ones among them, went unstable in their later years. They collapsed and then exploded, scattering their enriched guts across the galaxy, guts made of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and all the fundamental ingredients of life itself. These ingredients become part of gas clouds that condense, collapse, form the next generation of solar systems with orbiting planets. And those planets now have the ingredients for life itself. So that when I look up at the night sky, and I know that yes, we are part of this universe. We are in this universe. But perhaps more important than both of those facts is that the universe is in us. When I reflect on that fact, I look up. Many people feel small because they're small and the universe is big. But I feel big because my atoms came from those stars. There's a level of connectivity. That's really what you want in life. To feel connected. You want to feel relevant. You want to feel like you're a participant in the goings-on of activities and events around you. That's precisely what we are, just by being alive. As you journey on in your life, I hope that you choose to live, whatever that means to you. And of course, follow the wisdom of Bill and Ted. Be excellent to each other. I would now like to introduce the valedictorian of our graduating class, Michael Johns.
I'd like to start off by giving thanks where they are due. To the school board and Dr. Greg Poole for working to provide us as students with the opportunities necessary to grow and succeed. To Mr. Kanya for being the most amazing and constructive high school principal I've ever had, even if he is, in fact, the only high school principal I've ever had. To the teachers here at Barbers Hill for devoting their careers to shaping our generation to be as productive and skillful as their own. To my parents, Mrs. Julia McCauley and Dr. Mike Johns, as well as the parents of the entire student body, for shaping each of our core values and fostering our independence so that we may leave our own legacy to this world. And lastly, to my fellow students, for motivating me to work my hardest and to develop lasting friendships that will impact the rest of my life. I know that without each of these groups I have mentioned, I would not be standing in front of this massive crowd of family and teachers today, nor would I have had the privilege to spend these last 4 years with peers as ambitious, intelligent, and diligent as these. I thank you 1,000 times over for that. And now to the rest of this speech. I began writing this speech aware of 3 certainties. 1, it must be relatively short, because I know you are all just as ready to move on with this ceremony as I am ready to relieve myself from the pressure of giving it. 2, it must be entertaining, a criterion I will not know if I have met until after this ceremony. And 3, the speech must be inspiring, a motivating factor that pushes us out of this illness we call senioritis and excites us for life beyond high school. Naturally, I began to ask myself these questions. What about the future is so enticing, and how can I make the future seem as exciting as the day we are currently experiencing? It was then that I came to this conclusion. We are tired of thinking about the future. We have all been asked the questions. Where are we going to college? What are we going to major in? What job do we plan on finding after college? How do we plan on paying for college? Are we even going to college? These questions have plagued us for our entire senior year of high school, and while they are very important questions to have answered before we leave, I would like to take a minute to revel in our current and past accomplishments before we dive headfirst into the business of making new ones. That is the focus of this speech, to celebrate the accomplishments of Barbers Hill's class of 2017 thus far. These last 4 years we have spent together have been monumental. We have excelled in everything from academics to sports, from extracurriculars to our personal lives beyond the walls of this school. Our baseball team was undefeated in district play this year, and our softball team has done a phenomenal job for the entire 4 years we were students, a testament to the dedication to excellence and discipline the athletes of our class, like Megan King and Autumn Dawson, possess. Also this year, my friends on the tennis team, such as Amy Harvey, Adrian Bucios, and Macy McManus, reached the regional semifinals, and the basketball girls represented Barbers Hill well at the state level. Members of the volleyball team, such as Madeline Miles and Katie Jones, have advanced far, and even more recently, Barbers Hill's first soccer teams have proven competitive. Our class has played a prominent role in achieving the greatest, something that I will look back on with pride. Academically, the graduating class of 2017 has displayed extraordinary performance, ranking competitively among the country's best scholars by qualifying for statuses as National Merit Commended Scholars and AP National Scholars with honor. With the help of our class, groups like Academic Decathlon consistently made it to state, placing themselves among the best Texas has to offer. Scholars like Ethan Good have proven dominant in debate as well as in UIL, qualifying for the state level in both. Just this past weekend, students including myself and Macy McCartney qualified for global rounds of the World Scholars Cup competition. Our class's pals, among them my friends Jay Liu, Kelsey Gensel, and Maddie Mendez, represent our dedication to serving the community that has done so much for us. The actors and actresses of our class, Carson Andrus, Kay Davis, and Chloe Anderton among them, wooed us with convincing performances and competitive one-act plays, such as the Salt Dome Theater's production of Macbeth. Sarah Aguilar has amazed us with her spectacular dancing at pep rallies as the captain of Barbers Hill's drill team, and members of our Soaring Eagle Band received the highest accolades at contests like Solo and Ensemble, a legacy some of them will continue to impress their communities with by majoring in music and receiving placement in top college bands. Some, such as Alexis Keneally, have already gained professional experience by learning medicine inside an actual hospital, and Morgan Phillips and Matney May show prowess in science and engineering as some of the first members to graduate from Barbers Hill's STEM program. Finally, at the peak of senior year, the education Barbers Hill has provided our class has proven fruitful, with our seniors gaining acceptance to Texas's top universities, and some, such as Rebecca Hall and myself, even venturing as far as Purdue in Indiana and Northeastern University in Boston, respectively. As you can see, the class of 2017 has achieved so much, and now we graduate, a feat not everyone is able to accomplish. Today is definitely a day to be proud of, a day to cherish and celebrate. My advice to you is this: do not forget to live in the moment, to revel in the past, to take pride in what you have done instead of worrying about what you could do in the future. By constantly trying to shape our future, we will always feel unfulfilled, for we unfortunately cannot accomplish everything we set out to do. It is easy to lose sight of our past achievements as we move on to bigger and better successes, but our past is what helps us grow into such successes. We have done so much in our short 17 or 18 years of life, and we need to acknowledge that and be proud of it. The future is certainly important to consider, however, and that being said, we all know the future is not as perfect as we hope for it to be. We will be set back, and we will fail, but the memories of our past, of high school, and our achievements outside of it are what define us as a class of intelligent, respectable individuals. Yes, graduating from high school is one small step in the grand scheme of our lives ahead of us, but do not forget the gravity of this single accomplishment and those achievements that led up to today. It has been an honor to speak to you today, but to be completely candid, I'm glad it's over, because this is probably the hardest and scariest thing I've ever done. I am extremely proud to be able to call myself a member of Barbers Hill's class of 2017. Thank you.
Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to stand here before you tonight as principal of Barbers Hill High School and as principal of the class of 2017. Before we present diplomas tonight, there is a special group that I'd like to recognize, and I always, for the last 4 years, have had the same script. And I'm going to go off of it this time because this high school staff that sits here tonight, that is in the bleachers tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea how special they are and what they have accomplished as a staff. Barbers Hill High School faculty and staff, I want to personally say thank you for the work and the effort and the hours that you put in and the times you get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I still tell you that's not enough. Thank you so much for what you do, and thank you for helping this class of 2017 become the successes that they are today. Would you please stand and be recognized? Ladies and gentlemen, 14 years ago, I stepped into Barbers Hill High School for the very first time. And I knew at that time it was a very special place. Every day, Coach Taylor, he reminds us, every Friday, I should say, Coach Taylor reminds us that there is no place like this place, and nobody has it better than we do. At this time, I would like to acknowledge all of the past students who have made Barbers Hill High School such a special place. If you graduated from Barbers Hill High School, please stand and be recognized at this time. Many of the students who make up this special class have received scholarships. These seniors have been offered over 200 scholarships, totaling over $2.1 million. For those students tonight who have received those scholarships, would you please stand and be recognized? And I would also like to recognize a special group of students who sit before me today who have bravely chosen to serve our country in the armed forces. Would those students please stand tonight and be recognized? Thank you. We have now come to the part of our graduation that we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen, we have discussed with our senior class the meaning of this ceremony. While this is a happy and exciting occasion, it is also a ceremony of honor and of dignity. We ask your cooperation in maintaining that honor and dignity in this ceremony so that each of these 346 seniors can be recognized appropriately. At this time, we will prepare for the receiving of diplomas. Reading students' names tonight will be Mr. Travis Poe. Presenting the diplomas will be the members of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Poole, as principal of Barbers Hill High School, I certify that this class has completed the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Board of Education and the Texas Education Agency, and they are entitled to receive their diplomas. Dr. Poole, I now present to you the Barbers Hill class of 2017. Will the first row please rise?
Michael Ivan Johns. Rebecca Ann Hall. Mason Allen McManus. Macy Nicole McCartney. Andrea Marie Oliveros Cantu. Madison Taylor Mendez. Kelsey Celeste Genzel. Megan Lane King. Morgan Taylor Phillips. Carson Leo Andrus. Adam Ray Abbott. Cassidy Brianne Adams. Blake Andrew Aguilar. Sarah Ann Aguilard. Madison Deanne Alegria. Jordan Nicholas Allen. Rhett Lee Allen. Joseph Anthony Alvarez. Salvador Alvarez Jr. Tristan Page Anders. Chloe Drew Anderton. Amy Elizabeth Andrews. Aaron Longoria I knew it, sorry. Aaron Longoria Anzaldua III. Cameron Benjamin Arambula. Shelby Elise Osley. Daisy Ayala. Peyton Daniel Ayers. Taylor Marie Baccaris. Hannah Elizabeth Baker. Hannah Nicole Barker. Lane Morris Barrios. Skylar Bell Barrow. Gretchen Alexandria Bayless. Talon Dakota Bayless. Cassidy Brooke Barrand. Estevan de Jesus Bajarano. Alexis Shane Berry. Jared Allen Berwick. Austin Shane Betts. Caitlin Colleen Bowles. Brendan Crew Beaulieu. Bryce Reed Bonnen. Trevor Christian Bracken. Kobe Dontre Badford. Cody James Bradshaw. Cameron Dylan Bro. Spencer Ethan Broadway. Mallory Michelle Brooks. Taylor Danielle Broussard. Mackenzie Ray Brown. Jada Nicole Buchanan. Parker Calvin Bunn. Parker Cole Burgess. Nathaniel Keith Burks. Jordan Blake Burleson. Adrian Antonio Bustios. Ashley Leanne Campbell. Rita Renee Conchola. Dylan Gage Carter. Kylie Renee Carter. Cameron Taylor Cassidy. McKenna Cade Castaneda. Jasmine Castillo. Leonardo Carlos Castillo. Bailey Elizabeth Cawthon. Connor Jacob Cherry. Jacob Aiden Zane Childress. Emma Christine Clary. Hope Renee Clay. Joshua Wyatt Kofrisi. Piero Jeffrey Cole. Alexis Taylor Keneally. Kaylee Nicole Cooper. Shelby Elise Copeland. Connor Scott Coltis. Blake Joseph Corville. Alexa Elaine Cox. Destiny Diane Nicole Cox. John Mitchell Coxey. Cody Lance Crowley. Alyssa Paige Cunningham. Micah Grace Daniels. Haley Nicole Darcy. Sarah Nicole Davenport. Cade Ryan Davis. Autumn Brianne Dawson. Rachel Margot Inez de Hessa. Angel Diaz. Kara Brianne Dietz. Trey Andrew Dillard. Bradley Allen Dixon. Jacqueline Loren Dobson. Ethan Reed Doucette. Victoria Lee Downs. Zachary Thomas Dudley. Logan Christopher Dugas. Kirsten Elaine Duhan. Maya Rianne DuPont. Amber Nicole Dutton. Haley Michelle Dyer. Talon Morgan Dyer. Gustavo Elizondo. Colton West Elkins. Kobe Blake Emerson. Thomas Chandler Emerson. Joshua Caleb Fagala. Amber Lee Fanning. Brandy Noel Faulkner. Jordan Aaron Fennell. Kagan Douglas Filer. Austin Lee Fincher. Brooke Morgan Flores. Ileana Janae Flores. Jessica Ann Fouts. Kayla Paige Fox. Sarah Colette Franzino. Tanner Nicholas Frazier. Keegan Kyle Friedrichs. Caleb Kyle Fuentes. Lloyd Joseph Galvan Jr. Daniel Garcia. Jose Emmanuel Garcia. Luis Manuel Garcia. Thank you, buddy. Noah Cole George. Grayson Mackenzie Gibbs. Macy Marie Gibson. Marley Elizabeth Gilmore. Jonathan Randall Gaydrick. John Thomas Harold Golden III. Ethan Kane Good. Vernon Amos Gradney III. Catherine Isabel Grant. Megan Elizabeth Grant. Matthew Taylor Graves. Chloe Alana Gray. Autumn Rose Green. Hayden Oliver Green. Seth Ellis Green. Reagan Porter Griffiths. Kiara Guerra. Noah Riley Gidry. Tanner Scott Hale. Colin Bryce Hall. Quinn Robert Halford. Bryce Heath Harlow. Victoria Lee Hart. Caitlin Scarlett Hardis. Amy Nicole Harvey. Brianna Rose Hawkins. Carly Raven Hales. Caden Michael Hendricks. Cameron William Hendricks. Kylie Ann Hensley. Travian DeAndre Henson. Jocelyn Hernandez. Vicente Hernandez. Caleb Scott Herndon. Juan Jose Herrera Jr. Logan Bradley Hill. Tessa Lee Hilliard. Brandon Boyd Holdren. Jonathan Ross Holloway. Brandon Christopher Holt. Keegan Lucian Hooks. Ryan Joe Hrachek. Casey Tetsia Huddleston. Tucker Gregory Hudgens. Jordan Kelly Huntley. Denise Roxanne Ibarra. Priscilla Janelle Ibarra. Alyssa Nicole Jackson. Emily Christine Jackson. Tatum Therese Jackson. Osiris Scott Janice. Corey Diane Jewell. Adam Davis Johnson. Colin Ross Johnson. Corey Brandt Johnson. Kevin Tyler Johnson. Kylie Adrian Johnston. Caleb Warren Jones. Laura Catherine Jones. Richard Wesley Jordan. Tiffany Renee Jordan. Landon Trueheart Joseph. Austin Tyler Kaner. Jace Ryan Kill. Charles Caden Keene. Brandon Garrett Keene. Kara Lynn Kelly. Madison Ann Kelly. Connor Christopher Key. Kristen Haley King. Taylor David King. Jacob Andrew Kirby. Madison Renly Knappenberger. Heyman William Knox. Chandler Christian Custer. Chase Christopher Custer. Kayla Brooke Konarek. Jessica Ann Karenik. Alyssa Renee Landry. Skylar Logan Langelier. Zachary Owen Lauderdale. Alyssa Elaine Leach. Ashlyn Elizabeth Leach. Blake Anthony Lee. Jacob Kyle Lee. Caitlin Marie Lee. Ashley Sierra Lejeune. Tristan David Lloyd. Randall McAdams Lockridge. Kendall Lynn Lofton Laughlin. Spencer Dwayne Lowry. Shane J. Liu. Daisy Lucatero. Austin Robert Luna. Mason Lynn Lyons. Drake Scott Manak. Carlin Alyssa Manis. Gavin Drake Manuel. Garrett Davis Marcantel. Ayali Guadalupe Marquez Silva. McCall Scott Martin. Freddie Martinez. Mario Alberto Martinez. Tavery Mikhail Mathis. Seth Michael Matthews. Matney Claire May. Kaylee Jordan Mayfield. Madison Paige Mayfield. Madison Marie McAdams. Britt Samuel McCall. Alexandra Nicole McCartney. Kaylee Ashton McCauley. Emily Grace McCoy. McKenna Brianne Mesh. Caitlin Nicole Medlin. Alexis Nicole Mejia. Dylan John Menard. Madeline Michelle Miles. Sarah Ann Modisette. Braden Dwayne Monk. Michaela Renee Mormon. Jasmine Leandra Morales. Ileana Renee Morphin. Randy Madison Mueller. Serena Malin Murphy. Jaden Christopher Murrell. Ricardo Javier Navajar. Garrett Hunter Nettles. Katie Leanne Newton. Mason Cole Nichols. Chase Edmund Orsack. Brad Michael Osgood. Jana Alexis Patton. Alexander Chase Parker. Erin Nicole Pearson. Taylor Danielle Pennington. George Marlon Pentecost. Amanda Grace Perez. Esmeralda Perez. Ian Bryce Philo. Garrett Joseph Powers. Riley Elizabeth Price. Kristen Rose Prickett. Anne Elise Rabelais. Oscar Jr. Ramirez. Alex Pilar Ramos. Amber Marie Reinhardt. Caroline Faye Reuter. David Bradley Rhodes, Jr. Gerardo Rivas, Jr. Jacob Ryan Robilia. James Cohen Robbins. Alexander Lee Robinson. Celeste Isis Rodriguez. Matthew Andres Rodriguez. Matthew Alexander Rodriguez. Yanitza Alicia Rodriguez. Kyle Brant Roper. Megan Renee Roper. Tyler Dwayne Rowe. Andrew Dominic Sines. Sylvie Saldivar. Jessica Crystal Salinas. Kaylee Jade Santos. Kendall Ann Soria. Teddy Lane Schaller. Courtney Ann Sikora. Caitlin Diane Sellers. Jace Austin Seymour. Holly Payton Schallebarger. Justin Michael Sloan. Mason Wilcox Smart. Blake Carter Smith. Cody Ryan Smith. Jonathan Connor Smith. Tristan Trey Smith. Tyler Joseph Smith. Kellen Bryce Solomon. Paul Joseph Spalding. Furious Anthony Xander Stasiak. Christopher Michael Stevens. Hannah Marie Stewart. Brandon Jacob Samaya. Brittany Candy Samaya. Javante Boniface Kendi Samaya. Paige Alyssa Swindoll. Cameron Blake Swanky. Nicholas Ray Terry. Haley Simone Thibodeau. Savannah K. Torres. Brooke Mackenzie Townsend. Zachary Alexander Trammell. Skylar Paige Trammell. Joshua Anthony Trecanelli. Alicia Lynn Tucker. Morgan Christine Tyson. Ridley Camille Ulrich. Tristan Blake Lee Van Pelt. Luis Gabriel Vargas. John Angel Gerardo Vasquez. Neely Paige Vinters. Casey Wayne Verrett. Craig Allen Vincent. Ryan Cordell Walker. Kristen Renee Wallace. Kendall K. Waller. Kerrigan Brooke Webb. Hunter Lane Weems. Brian Cadamus Wilburn. Taylor Shea Wilkinson. Caleb Marcus Williams Jacobs. Ryan Porter Wilson. Davis Neal Woods. Candace Lane Wright. Savannah Gabrielle Yepes. Bryce Jillian Young. Christian Izquierdo. Dylan Wayne Zavodny. Sarah Morgan Zickafus.
Please bow your heads and pray with me one last time. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for our time here together, for the camaraderie and all the friends we have made that will last a lifetime, for all the days of laughter and fun we have shared, for all the invaluable memories that we will cherish forever, and for all the times of great discovery and learning. We thank you for all who have given their energy and skill so that we may graduate today. Our teachers and mentors, our administrators and school board, along with everyone who has played a part in helping us reach this stage. And most importantly, our family and loved ones that have been with us every step of the way. We thank you for them and give them all to you in prayer. As this chapter on our life closes, so a new one begins. We ask that you guide us in this next chapter of our lives that we are about to enter. We present ourselves like an open book before you. Come inscribe your words of life into our lives. Fill our minds with your thoughts. Fill our bodies with your strength. Fill our hearts with your dreams, that we may eternally love and serve you, this day and every day. We ask all of this in the glorious name of Jesus, who lives and reigns with you in the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good job, man.
Yeah, we got to get that name down eventually. Man, I love you guys. Seniors, tonight is the culmination of 13 years of hard work and dedication. I know your parents, your friends, your family are very proud of you. On behalf of Barbers Hill Independent School District, I would like to wish this class the best of luck in the future. God bless you. Seniors, please rise. This, the last act that you will perform together as a class, and as a symbol of your graduation, I ask you now to take your tassel and move it to the left. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Barbers Hill High School graduating class of 2017. Where's our school song? School song, where's it at? Where's our school song? It's got the music. our school song in. Come on, guys. We're done. I don't know why we're not having this. They're busted and moving, Coach. Yeah. Great job. Thank y'all, guys. Thank y'all. That's a good job, buddy. I don't know why we. That's a good one. Here we go. We're still on.